Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Capricorn. If Capricorn is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, 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 and let's see what do these tea leaves have for us tonight. All right, so it looks like a lot of them are on one side. And I hope you all are doing so well. Oh my goodness, it's been a long day here for me. I wanted to I'm trying to just mention at the beginning so we don't stop and look at the card for too long because, let's face it, it's not really a tarot reading, but the tarot card does kind of flavor the tone of the reading. So we have the Six of Wands, which is related to victory. This is about success, joy, optimism, all the things we love to hear about. And the card is kind of this beautiful purple. We have the reds, the oranges, these beautiful kind of turquoise colors up here, and everything kind of set ablaze. Not burning down, but kind of that fire of life. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on here in this bowl. The first thing I really wanted to look at, it's really cute, kind of, actually. We have a person standing here. It looks like they have their hair kind of back, maybe in a ponytail. And they are kind of leaning forward to hold hands with this smaller person, maybe a child. Could be an animal, but it looks like maybe a little, like a child there. We also have now the same figure, but it's turned over and it looks like an older person now, like maybe has grown into a grandparent. And then we have a child again, kind of leaping up to see their grandparent. And so I wonder, if you are not becoming a grandparent, if you have not become a grandparent already, you were maybe at one time a parent, and the passage of time has delivered you into that period of life where the next generation is starting to be born. If that's not where you're at in life, that's okay. Maybe this is something that you have thought about. Maybe this is your relationship with your own grandparent, and maybe parent, and on the other side, your parent. Whatever it is, I think that there's a strong family bond. There is a sense of kind of a passage of time and a passing on of love and knowledge from one generation to the next. I feel that there's been an ongoing tight relationship from generation to generation. And, you know, in this day and age, that is not always the case. There are lots of us, myself included, that doesn't have any relationship with my origin family. I've had to create family, which has been fine as well. But then there are people out there, which I always think is like, wow, that's, you know, really special, that each generation has stayed pretty close to one another. And so I think that you just have, you know, been lucky in that way, and also have been lucky in that you have maybe been raised by people who you want to be around. You maybe have raised your family in such a way that they want to be there with you and around you. And, you know, that's not easy. It's not easy. You know, I think it's part instinctual to like get up and move out into the world. Maybe not stay in the same place where you grew up. Some people do, of course, but a lot of people, they go out and sometimes they come back and, you know, get back to their roots, and sometimes, you know, they never come back. So I think that it's really it's quite a vibe, I would say, when I see and in one of my readings a family who has had such close ties. And I think that this is very much informed how you are able to connect with other people, kind of your ability to have healthy attachments, which has been, I mean, that's also a big win in in the life lottery, right? Is having the ability to at least maintain healthy relationships, right? Sometimes you have to work to get there. Sometimes, you know, you have some that are not good, and you figure that out along the way, and then, you know, hopefully they end in a way that is reasonable, and then you move on to another one. So I think that you have had some luck in that department for sure. So I'm looking around here, and I want to look, I think that that's a big victory in your life for sure. But I also think, I get this instinct here that there have been, and I keep seeing threes here. So we have a large 3, and then we have a 3 here as well. So I think the 3 is a big deal right now. The number 3. It might be something in threes, but I think that the number 3 is important. It also could be an M, but I do think that it's probably actually the number 3. So I don't know. Maybe a lucky number, a house number, you know, something, you know, something you relate it to that is important. And you'll know that when I'm talking about this. We all have our relationship with numbers. Okay. And so as I'm looking at this, I really feel that either in your work life, okay, in your job, career, whatever you do for work or make money, or and this might be the same thing, where you make money, or a creative endeavor. Maybe this might be like a side job. This might be your main job. It could be kind of a business you've started, or like related to a hobby, a passion, I should say. Anyways, I feel that you have received some kind of accolades. You have been recognized in some way for an achievement. And I think that it feels like this is some kind of specific project or artwork, or maybe, you know, you craft or you create something and it has caught on. People like it, people are telling you about it, and you maybe even have received an actual reward, or, you know, some kind of raise or whatever it is, bonus. And I think that that is more of a public facing thing. So I'm just kind of straightening out my back here a little bit. Moving around here. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we also have a little chicken here, and I see a cat. And I hate to say it, but it to me, this reads as, I feel like almost this kind of very social kind of a pull towards some kind of socializing. And I hate to like relate this to chickens, but they are very social animals. Hens are very social. So I get this feeling that, and I think that you maybe are not the most social person usually. Not by no means are you like completely isolated, but I think that, you're fairly reserved in your interactions. I don't know that you're like going out to clubs and everything every night, but I think that, you maybe have a couple of really good friends, and, as adults do, we see people less and less usually. Maybe until we get older and everybody, has settled, like, we've settled into retirement, and then we can, maybe see each other more often. But, so I think that there's some, and maybe this has to do with the season. Maybe with the season, maybe with this newfound achievement, all this hard work that you've been doing, and now you're taking a bit of time for yourself. Whatever it is, I do think that there is kind of this, if you can imagine a cat kind of stalking a group of hens, or a group of chickens. So just kind of a sense of beware. That's all I'm getting from this. Is just kind of not necessarily that anything bad is happening or is going to happen, but I do think there's definitely, and I'm looking at this, it's kind of like a backwards question mark. I do think that there's just kind of something, and I'm trying to figure this out in my mind. I feel like there's almost somebody kind of watching you, not stalking you in the traditional sense that like, they're going to harm you. But I think somebody really is paying attention to you, kind of is more coy, maybe a little more, they won't let you know that they're really kind of focusing on you, but there's kind of that feline, kind of a little bit sneaky, a little bit stealthy, a little bit silly and absurd, because it's kind of apparent that like, okay, yeah, this person is checking me out. So I think that, this will be a fun time for you. I think that you won't be overdoing it though. I think that you will definitely be kind of just taking your time and doing your thing. And I don't know, maybe this will be a love connection. I don't think so though. Maybe a dalliance. Maybe just a flirtation. Okay, up here we have a heart. And that is in that. And let's see, if I can, there we go. We have a little heart right here. Oh, I'm trying to not touch this, and there we go. Perfect. Right there. So right in, oh, and actually, you know what? Funny, there's one over on this side too. Okay, let's see if I can get this in focus and with the light on it. Okay, so right there. And they're both, and that one's a little heart too. So they're both in this like super spiritual, metaphysical. This is on the very rim here where the flowers, the band of flowers is. This is kind of like where messaging from the other side comes through, kind of like the divine revelation and, the kind of inspired and cosmic love and consciousness and all that stuff. So I do feel like there's, Yeah, you want to socialize. Yeah, you might like this kind of flirtation with this person who is maybe interested in you. But your real focus in life is with that family stuff. You're solid as far as that goes. You're solid with yourself. You're doing well. You're prospering. You know that you can do whatever you put your mind to. You're very creative, very able. And you also have a strong relationship with the divine, with your faith, with your interior world. And, you know, maybe a love connection isn't even of interest. Maybe you're already married and settled, you know, and happy in that. And yeah, there's love there, definitely. But maybe, you know, maybe as sometimes it happens in relationships, it's not your main focus all the time. It's one of the top priorities, right? But it's not always the central thing. There's so many things going on in life, you know, and and that is solid too. So it's not something you have to kind of, think about and navigate 24 hours a day. Not like when you're 15, right? And you're in love for the first time, and that's like, it's overcoming, and that's all you can, you know, you can't even eat, sleep, or anything, you know, it's just all about that thing. And I don't think that's the case necessarily here. I think that you're happy, you're in a good spot. But, you know, your love in that devotional life, that spiritual life, how you connect with that higher part of yourself. And I'm just going to apologize. You can probably really hear this cat snoring. She's going to town over there. And I just think that, you know, it just really is, it's a happy place to be. My goodness, who doesn't want to be in that place there? I think that so many of us spend a lot of our life just getting to a place of content, right? Of stability, of consistency. I think you have all those things, definitely. Of course, there are parts that need work. We all have that as well. And I think that you have a drive to continue to move forward. You're never 100% happy with how things are. You're not necessarily a perfectionist, but you do have the motivation to keep, you know, learning more, widening your experience, you know, expanding your emotionality, your connections with those deeper interior things that really, you know, I think that you've become quite aware of more and more the older you get, the more, you know, life that you have lived. Also, I see here, this one's kind of interesting to me. It looks like a little nest with a bird on it. And I kind of almost wonder if you have children who have recently left the home. Like empty nest period of your life. Maybe gone to college, maybe they've moved out, you know, out on their own. But I feel that maybe there is kind of this there's been more space opening up in your life, at least as far as time goes. And this is maybe why you've had the time to work more on these projects and found that you are really suited for whatever it is that you're doing, that this is something that you excel at and you enjoy doing it. You enjoy the whole process of creating, the research and, you know, conceptualization and rendering and well, and you know, getting materials and all these things, all the things that go into making something, if that's a physical thing or other. I feel that you definitely just have thrown yourself into it. And it would make sense to me if maybe something in your life has shifted, some kind of circumstance, and it's given you more time to kind of, you know, spend time with those things that are of interest to you. Okay. Okay, and I'm looking at this one. And it kind of looks like a table, and I see a person, the outline of a person, and I imagine you kind of just sitting at your table, maybe like your little kitchen table there, writing something, maybe like a list, and you're taking your time. Maybe you're listening to some music, or maybe it's like kind of quiet. There's a lot of thoughtfulness, and this feeling of peace, you know, that things are just the way that they're supposed to be. And kind of this feeling of being so thankful that you've arrived at this place in your life, this time in your life where you can appreciate how things are. I feel like maybe you were a bit restless when you were younger. You couldn't really find your footing, maybe, and hard to kind of find the place that you felt you belonged. And time has just kind of gone along, and you've done some things, you've seen some things, you've made some things, and your relationships have deepened where they are worthy, and now you are this being that is, you know, more wise. Well, you know, with the juxtaposition of knowing that you don't know very much at all, right? we start to really realize that as we get older. But there's a lot of sense of peace. And that's really kind of fallen over yourself and your household. Okay, and let's see here. And it seems like maybe you will be traveling soon. It seems like just like a small travel. I think maybe to visit somebody briefly. I don't think this is going to be a big trip, but I think that you know, it'll be fun. It'll go well to kind of break up the normal stuff. I see you kind of just enjoying yourself, having some laughs, and, you know, maybe like going out to dinner or having dinner with somebody, like a good friend or something like this. Just a little reprieve from your normal schedule, but your normal you enjoy. So this is just kind of like, you know, the cherry on top. Okay, well, Capricorn, I know that was a bit of a shorter one, but I think that's what we have tonight. And I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I'm always so honored to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And I say us because we here are a community, each and every one of you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can go ahead and subscribe. Hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos come out. And then that will like officially make you part of the community. And let's see. If you want to leave a comment, I read all of them. And I appreciate them so much, really. I feel like I've connected so deeply with some of you, and I know that there will be more of you to connect with, and you all bring just the most lovely energy. I know that some of you have been through it, and you've been so generous with sharing your stories, being vulnerable, supporting one another in the comments. I love seeing that. And yeah, it truly is a joy to be able to have these interactions with you all. Okay, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. It's Saturday night, and this is my last reading of the night, so I'm gonna probably go drink the rest of my tea and then get in bed. Yep. All right. I thank you, and we will talk again real soon.